All right, an almost 2 month hiatus for CRISPR Roots. It's true that December and January are the slowest months for new releases. And it's also true that through the trickle, I didn't find a lot of stuff I really loved. One thing that's been kind of clear to me, listening back through the whole thing and listening to the playlist that grew up last year on CRISPR Roots, from CRISPR Roots, everything I've covered, is that I saw so many albums I loved in the first half of 2024. They'll be represented in the top 10, the last episode I did of season 1. This is season 2. I didn't realize how lucky I was, really. Or we were. So it kind of slowed down as things went on to my taste, I suppose. Or maybe it was just my mood. I don't think I was in a worse mood this whole second half of the year, though, necessarily. But, okay, so we're picking it up again. And we got two things that have kind of previous roots. Roots in 2023 and 24. The Doohickeys' new album, All Hat, No Cattle, and Jason Eady, E-A-D-Y, Eady, Mississippi, Unplugged. All right, the Doohickeys. What was the second to last episode, I think? I talked about their EP late last year that collected some of these songs, and I was very enthusiastic. They're fun. The Doohickeys. All right, so first of all, that's a good name for a band, Doohickeys. I think there could be bands called the Whatchamacallits, the Thing Gummies, the Whoosy Whatsits. Whoosy Whatsits, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I like words like that for one reason or another, and I think Doohickeys is a good name for a group. Or in this case, it's a duo of Haley Spence Brown and Jack Hackett. They seem like pretty young people, and they met at USC. She's from a farm family in Missouri, and these are bios I'm reading. He's from a strict Japanese-American home in Atlanta. Although his name is Jack Hackett. All right, so I don't know. But all right. They met at USC on a satirical news show that they were both doing on the radio, I guess. Radio station at USC. That's not surprising because these songs are really hilarious. And the night after they met, according to their bio, they wrote this song together that I did talk about last time. An amazingly courageous country song. And a good one, too.
The job done. It's kinda small, so it ain't that much fun. But girls just laugh when I show them my ride. They don't care about what's on the inside. I wish my truck was bigger. If I had the money, I'd pull the trigger. 'Cause right now my truck's more like a sedan. I wish my truck was bigger, 'cause then I would feel like a man.
Okay, so that's the first replay on CRISPR Roots, playing the same song in different episodes, because now it's been re-released on the LP. All right, like I say, that's a gutsy song, man. An amazingly excellent parody song, too, because there's so many big trucks in country music right now. Like even that Post Malone album referred to Ford F-150s, I guess. I forget what the title was. You hear Ford F-150 and half the songs on the radio, Silverados, and I don't know if you get that much Dodge Ram, but definitely don't get Toyota Tacomas. And it's important that the brand is mentioned. Okay. Anyway, Who makes a country song like that? Who has the guts to sing a country song like that? What a fun writing session that must have been. I don't know if they're a couple or not. I sort of think so, I guess. So maybe this was their first night together, They wrote this great song and made great love. I don't have no idea, so I don't want to say that. But anyway, they're pretty cute, though, too. All right. Jack Hackett and Haley Spence Brown. And they're excellent singers. And I just love the arrangements, too. I thought that sounded great. Like, that's the way country music should sound. Real fresh and real traditional. Well, I have a bunch of gutsy, hilarious songs. Here is a similar one. Okay, so this weekend here in America is a great weekend in America. It's championship weekend in the NFL. The NFC Championship and the AFC Championship. The AFC Championship pits the Kansas City Chiefs against the Buffalo Bills. And the NFC Championship pits the Washington Commanders against the Philadelphia Eagles. I was born and raised in D.C., famously a Redskins fan before I could speak. And my wife was born and raised in Philly. Now, all America will be tuning in. But maybe not Haley Spence Brown. And maybe not... A lot of people might be getting dragged to seeing these games. You know what I mean? A lot of people might have to watch these games because it's on and it's real loud and it's in their living room whether they want it to be or not. What would you be? How would it come out if you were an American who didn't give a damn about football? The gutsiest country song ever penned. SEC.
But the only division here is between you and me.
SEC introduced divisions a couple years ago.
When the game comes on, I'll take a hard pass. Simply put, I don't give a rat's ass. 'Cause I don't give a damn about football. You know I'm not the only one. Grown man in a mad bra. You know it's not my kind of fun. Once a year I'll watch it. But only for the ads. I'm gonna tell people that it always makes me mad. But I don't give a damn about football.
It's got a lot of very specific references. And one thing she's not that happy about is now there's football on every night. Pretty much, okay? The next verse has her, saying, okay, the next verse, you can locate her geographically. Because she says, on Sunday morning, you turned on another game. Well, there's not football games on Sunday morning on the East Coast. Although, if there's a game in London or Europe or whatever, it might be on early in the morning, okay? But on the West Coast, NFL starts at 10 a.m., okay? So I think that's what that's where they wrote this, I feel like. Because it's noon in Nashville, all right? There's a lot of hilarious songs on here. How about Too Ugly to Hitchhike? All right. Or You Can't Dance. These are good, fun songs. Or Please Tell Me You're Sleeping. Please Tell Me You're Sleeping, which is about thinking Grandpa's dead. He's not answering his phone. There's a pile of papers on the front porch. And realizing he's just having sex with a new lover. In a quite hilarious ballad. All right. But then, there's stuff that's not necessarily, and I encourage them as they go on, I'm sure they will explore this, they could make really beautiful songs, too. They've got the vocals for it and the chops, And I guess there's one, I think it's autobiographical, or at least Haley says it's true when she sings it. A story about her grandfather losing, I don't know if this is true exactly, okay, or where this comes from, but her grandfather losing the farm to eminent domain, and then her father becoming a lawyer specifically to fight things like that. And the way it ends up is like, Daddy's not afraid to sue. All right. That might be good in a daddy. Well, I think I played this one before. I like the way they cuss and just talk like humans.
All the shops close up at 6 except the Dollar General. We got more cows than people here, and baby, we got several. We got half a dozen churches, about half as many stoplights, and even though we only got one bar, we got 500,000 bar fights. Don't wanna be no city slicker, but here on Sundays they don't serve liquor. This town sucks. This whole place blows. There's nothing to do. Life here moves slow. Everything you need can be found within a mile. But if you wanna have some fun, you're gonna have to drive a while. I always say I'll leave someday, and it can't come soon enough. Yeah, this town sucks.
All right, that's pretty good. It reminds me of an album I talked about right at the She's an Angel, I think was the title. Maybe the second episode of CRISPR Roots last year in season 1. Gray Delisle, who's someone I really like and who's very also kind of a country music comedian, and who sings in quite a similar way to Haley Spence Brown. Anyway, the Doohickeys, man, I think they're rocking this. They're coming on, man. All right. All right, let's talk about Jason Eady. This is someone I followed for a while, on and off, kind of, you know. I think I reviewed maybe even his debut album long ago. I'm trying to remember now, 2000, in the 2000s, I think. So he's getting to be a veteran. Originally from Mississippi, very Austin, now really sounds very Austin, I think. And how Austin should sound, you know, kind of like honky tonk. There's nothing straight outlaw about it, you know, or like lyric themes and stuff. But he's quite a beautiful lyricist and stuff. Now this album, and this is an example of something that's happening a lot. 2023 put out an album called Mississippi. He's from Mississippi, Jackson, I think. And then this album, you know, 2 years later or whatever, is Mississippi Unplugged. So it's runs through the same songs in a totally acoustic vein. I guess there was a time when I might have thought that this was lazy or puzzling, like what the frig are you doing, you know, as a critic. But it's happening a lot, and it's very good overall. Like it can really be done well, and it's kind of an important development in some ways, I think, of remaking your own music. Obviously, Taylor Swift is a big influence in that. But like my number 3 country album last year was, I think, number 4, Sonny Sweeney. Re-recorded an album from 2012 or 13. And, you know, I listened to it and then I kind of left it, okay, back then. And she recorded it in acoustic mode, not quite this stripped down, which is basically just him singing with a guitar. But the songs were great, man. And I forgot, like, you know, these songs, and she re-explored them, and the stripped down framework made you focus on the quality of the songs a little more. So I get, just to make the argument, like, I really liked that Mississippi album. and I did listen to it, a couple times anyway, or several even. And okay, so I'm gonna play the plugged version and then the unplugged version of a wonderful song on this album called New Tradition. And I liked the original a lot. I kind of put this on different playlists and stuff like this. Like, this was my favorite song from this album. All right, so this is the electric version from 2023 from the album Mississippi by Jason Eady.
Well, the way that I've been feeling lately, I'm starting to wonder if I'm ever gonna get any further down the line.
Kind of a swampy.
I'm stuck here in my head, and I'm tethered by thread.
New Orleans-y
The
arrangement.
same old tracks that keep running through my mind. In tradition,
Sounds like the Meters, maybe.
In new edition, one that's evergreen. Well, I need a new vision, a new way to see the world. The kind of thing I ain't ever seen before. Something to keep me going, not preaching, just showing a better way than just keeping score.
All right, so when I heard that, I think I focused on the sound, right? Like, I was grooving on that. I don't know how I'm reading it. Like I say, New Orleans-y kind of arrangement, heavy bass and kind of underlying funk. But I didn't focus. But rehearing it now in a totally, stripped down acoustic vein, I focus more on the lyric, and I hear its strength even more clearly. Not preaching, just showing. This is the new version.
Well, the way that I've been feeling lately, I'm starting to wonder if I'm ever gonna get any further down the line. Well, I'm stuck here in my head, and I'm tethered by thread. The same old tracks that keep running through my mind. Hand me down a new tradition, hand me down a sight unseen, hand me down a new edition, one that's evergreen. Well, I need a new vision, a new way to see the world. The kind of thing I ain't ever seen before. Something to keep me going, not preaching, just showing a better way, just keeping score. Hand me down.
Oh, I think that's a very strong, interesting, excellent song. Moving, kind of. Because I have the same feelings, I guess. Anyway, and like I say, I refocused on that song in a different way, in a different arrangement. And I think this is a very worthwhile album. I think the original was worthwhile, and I think the re-recording in acoustic mode is worthwhile. He's very, I guess he's country in this sense, like very geographically oriented. So there's an excellent song here, Way Down in Mississippi. There's an excellent song, Once Upon a Time in New Orleans. I gave a big high five to an old drag queen once upon a time in New Orleans. Or this just lovely love song, or, lovey song, it was the last song on the album. Maybe I didn't quite focus on it, but I heard it harder this time. Misty.
Since since you've been away, I've been staying awake, trying not to lose my mind.
It's a breakup song.
On your call,
It's an expression of love.
no word at all. Honey, won't you give me a sign? Oh, Misty, say you missed me. Tell me it'll be alright. Oh, Misty, say you missed me, so I can get to sleep tonight. Well, I know that you left, needing time for yourself. Believe me, I understand. But it's been too long, I feel like there's something wrong. Or maybe I just got too much time on my hands. Oh, Misty, say you missed me. Tell me it'll be alright.
All right. Okay, so Jason Eady, Mississippi Unplugged. And Chris Baroots is back. I am going to keep doing this because I really enjoy doing it. And I mean, the thing I enjoy most about it is that it forces me to try to listen to all the new releases in Americana, blues, country, especially, and sometimes soul and reggae, which is keeping me musically refreshed. Could it have the same effect on you? I don't know. Need to build an audience somehow. All right, Chris Baroots Season 2, Episode 1. That's it.